Day 2, Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. This one comes from Joshua Hammock, Hedonistic Nihil, or Nihil. I always never know how to pronounce that. Nihilistic.
I always
It
pronounce
would be
Nile.
nihilistic, but then I think it's not Nile, because I think of Nile Rodgers of Chic fame. But that's not him.
I think of the Niles.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of Niles, I saw that Frasier's making a comeback next summer or something.
Yeah, well,
in the long vein of Murphy Brown and Will and Grace.
I
and
know
so on.
others. Well, hey, maybe we'll have a fluid link about that. What do you think? But this is not this fluid link. This one is. He asked, "Do you think an actor will play the Doctor for longer than 3 seasons in this era? 3 seasons? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Sadly,
one.
no.
I don't think so.
Well,
and the
when-
reason... Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, when the season when seasons are as spread apart as they have been the last few years, I mean, I don't know, because I can see it. I can see two sides. I can see it either being that things are spread out enough that the actor can actually go and do other stuff, because that's usually what a lot of them want to do is, spread their wings and try out different things.
Yeah. I like the Sherlock model,
but-
if you will.
Sure, yeah. But I can also see the other side of the fence where they're like, no, I mean, I did 3 series over 5 years. I've had enough, and that's it. Let somebody else have a crack at it. But on the whole, I like the distinction of years versus seasons here.
Yeah.
But I say no. I don't know that we're going to see anyone do more than 3. I mean, we haven't yet in the new series, other than Tennant, sort of.
Only. And Smith,
everything
really,
Chris
when you
said?
think about it, yeah.
Everything Chris said, but also the fact that with peak TV, like compared to years and years ago when there was like the BBC and a couple other channels for them to go to, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you were in a show like Doctor Who that's massively famous, and then therefore you are to a certain extent massively famous yourself, you'd be crazy not to go somewhere else and try to do something with it. Although it hasn't really worked with Matt Smith, but having said that, the opportunities are there that weren't there before.
Yeah.
Matt Smith got an Emmy nomination for The Crown.
Okay, sure, but I'm saying in terms of like, all I'm saying is that Jodie Whittaker is going to be more famous because of this, and she will get better offers because of it, and it will be American money, and so you'd be nuts to turn that down.
Maybe. I mean, you're speaking of people who've done the best or done the most after their time as Doctor Who. I mean, again, Tennant definitely takes the crown there. He's done a lot of stuff since and made a really, really high profile.
I've always been of the opinion that Matt Smith's career should be bigger than it is, even if he did win an Emmy.
I agree.
It should still be a bigger career.
Matt Smith is still whatever. I don't even know.
He's
on
still
the
in
Crown.
it. No, he's no longer, because they've aged everybody up now.
He's done after.
Yeah.
He back when it came out, it was made to be a big deal that he was in Terminator.
Yeah, and he's barely in Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
And he's barely in it. And then not dissimilar to that, all the chatter about him being in Rise of Skywalker,
Which he apparently is, yeah.
Maybe. I know there's a lot of downplaying of that happening too as well.
Good thing this is coming out in the 2nd of December, because in a couple weeks we'll see it, and maybe he's the star, maybe he's the Emperor, maybe he's the young Emperor, maybe he regenerates from Adam Driver into like Kylo Ren 2 or something like that.
All that is very terrible, and I'm not happy with that.
Yeah. And then, like, for Peter Capaldi, what's he done since leaving?
That's the counterexample right there.
Well,
he did the music video for Louis Capaldi, and that's all.
no, he's done.
He's also
other
got an
things.
insanely large career. So
He's
doing that.
He's doing the Marvel.
What did he just shave? What did he shave his head
Justice
for?
League movie or something.
Justice League.
Iceman? Is he
Yeah.
Iceman or something? Or is that Top Gun?
Suicide Squad. That's what it is.
Squad. And he's done a couple things, and he doesn't have to do it. He's like 58 years old. Peter Capaldi can do whatever he wants.
He had much more coming in than the other one, so that's fair.
Yeah, I don't. I wish. I mean, I've spoken often.
Yeah, but
I
David
wish
Tennant has 83 children now.
he does have a. I wish Capaldi would have stayed for one more, because God, I miss Capaldi. Not that I don't like Jodie or anything like that, but I just feel like I wanted one more year out of Capaldi.
I'm gonna throw this around.
All right.
Capaldi with Chibnall as a showrunner.
I don't think it would work. No, I don't think it would.
Because he stayed as long as Moffat did. Moffat
Yeah.
stayed as long as Capaldi did.
Yeah.
And Moffat didn't want to stay that long.
No, he didn't.
No, I can't see that working. It just seems like a mismatch of chemistry.
Yeah.
There's not to say anything. Chibnall's fine, but it's not the same thing.
It's funny.
So,
it's funny when we have the hope. Whenever a new doctor comes, we just think, oh, maybe this will be the one that breaks Tom Baker's record. And then you think, you know what? Like, it's a long time. Like, in the course of this podcast, we've seen off 3 or 4 doctors. I've already lost count. But at the time, it's like, wow, Matt Smith does feel like he's kind of tired and everything, and the role and everything, and maybe he's done at this point. And then you look back and go, that was like 3 years. What the hell? 3 years. But no,
and only Tom Baker did this, and only Tom Baker, like, even then it was a weird thing to have had happen.
Baker and Pertwee are the only outliers in what is traditionally a 3-year role. It's when you think about it, but we're so spoiled by Tom Baker that we think there's the new bar, 7 years. That's what you have to do.
It's the bar because that's what we grew up with, so we think it's a standard, right? So.
But you don't count McGann as 19 years?
I don't count McGann as 19 years. No.
Or 9 years, whatever.
I don't count McCoy as 9 years either. I count him. Well, Warren doesn't count him at all, but I count him as 3, and barely at that.
I'll count him as 3. He was factually on TV for 3 years. I mean,
well, at least you admit that, Warren. That's a big admission on your part.
I don't like it, but he was. So
yeah.
Yes, he exists.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The biggest compliment Warren can pay.